I love what I'm doing. I've devoted my life to philanthropy and to try to change the world to make it a better place. And I can do more maybe outside of the 2 years it would take campaigning, and I can get a lot of stuff done. But I will say that out of all the 20 candidates, I think everyone would be a better president than Donald Trump.
Pay attention to that last line from billionaire Michael Bloomberg from back in August in an interview with my colleague Stephanie Ruhle. The former New York City mayor plans to file for the Alabama presidential primary as a Democrat. He appears to be keeping his options open given the state has a Friday filing deadline. It's not about Alabama, it's about the deadline. A Bloomberg advisor tells NBC News, quote, "We now need to finish the job and ensure that Trump is defeated. But Mike is increasingly concerned that the current field of candidates is not well positioned to do that. If Mike runs, he would offer a new choice to Democrats built on a unique record running America's biggest city." Now, that if there is notable. Bloomberg hasn't officially declared his candidacy. Joining us now, my partner in crime during the 1 p.m. hour on MSNBC, Stephanie Ruhle. Steph.
He's got one more if.
Yeah.
If he were to run, he could run a different campaign than we've ever seen. Day one, he could start running a national campaign where every candidate we've ever seen, it's, well, we got to make it happen in Iowa. And if we make it happen in Iowa, we'll get enough money to make it to the next state. Mike's worth $50 billion, whether you love him or you hate him. But from day one, he can focus on a place like Alabama, which actually has twice as many delegates as New Hampshire. Early voting in California is actually before the Iowa caucuses.
Right.
So Mike actually has a different vantage point from anything we've seen. It's a play that no one's run before. I'm not saying it would work, but he has this other lane.
So let's talk about Mike Bloomberg's ability to get under people's skin. He gets under Trump's skin. In fact, let's just play something that he said at the 2016 convention about Donald Trump.
We must unite around the candidate who can defeat a dangerous demagogue. I built a business, and I didn't start it with $1 million check from my father. Trump says he wants to run the nation like he's running his business? God help us. I'm a New Yorker, and I know a con when I see one. Trump is a risky, reckless, and radical choice, and we can't afford to make that choice.
And that's just a small sampling of the stuff that he says about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump hates it.
Hates it. So think about this. Right now, everyone is saying, how does Elizabeth Warren feel and Cory Booker feel? The bigger question is, how does Donald Trump feel? Because day in and day out, we hear from more and more, even never Trumpers, who say, if my option is Elizabeth Warren, then I may go Donald Trump. Mike Bloomberg is saying, it could be me. Donald Trump today was fined by a New York judge $2 million for the misuse of funds in his own charity. That happened today. And on that same day, a man who has a family foundation worth $7 billion got one step closer to running for president. So for everyone says there are no pro-business candidates running against Donald Trump, Mike Bloomberg is here to say, it's me.
So we see the pushback that Tom Steyer gets for being a rich guy who got into the race, was able to advertise a lot, and actually get his poll numbers higher than a whole lot of other candidates who are running. That's going to hit Mike Bloomberg, too. We're already seeing reaction from Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar tonight.
Without a doubt, you're going to see it across the nation. People are going to say the problem is income inequality. The problem is the richest of the rich. And Mike Bloomberg, without a doubt, demonstrates what the richest of the rich do. He will argue he does a whole lot more than that. He might even argue, and you saw it in that interview from August, his number one goal isn't to be president of the United States. He feels like his number one goal is to ensure that Donald Trump gets defeated. You could see Mike end up being, in the short term, a foil to Elizabeth Warren, because other Democratic centrist candidates haven't done a particularly strong job pushing back against how she's going to pay for Medicare for all, about her wealth tax. Mike Bloomberg might end up doing some of Joe Biden's dirty work for him that Biden hasn't done, because the progressive wing of the party has been loud and strong. Might Mike actually help them? Because we don't know how far he'll take it.
So does that help Mike Bloomberg, or does that help Joe Biden?
We'll soon find out.
All right.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.